Hello. So I have fallen in love again with an old friend of mine, an old piece of software that I absolutely adored back in the early to mid 2000s. And then I left it, let it go, moved on to Ableton, became an Ableton freak for the last 10, 15 years, roughly 15 years. And then it's just come back into my life, and that is Propellerhead's Reason. It's completely changed since I had it. When I had it, it was initially a rectangle sort of pop-up window box. It was really fiddly. You flipped it around, you had to do all the wiring and all these kind of things, which you can still do, but the process of it was a bit fiddly, and you could integrate it with Cakewalk, which is what I used at the time, and obviously you could do with Ableton anyway. But now it's so plug and play, it's unbelievable. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. So it's got all the original sounds that I used back in the day from the early versions. It's like on Reason 13 now. I had like Reason 4 or something initially, but I've been playing with it, and I've just subscribed to a free month, but the first month for £1. So 4 weeks for £1, and then after that the subscription goes up to £20. But nevertheless, if you was to go and download this and try the free month, you could rip so many loops and beats and so forth from it, and sounds and stuff. It's very easy to use now. It's a lot better than it was, and I'm just going to knock a little track up and show you just how easy it was. I mean, for me, back in the day, I mean, a lot of these plugins were just great. The Dr. Octo Rex loop, the Maelstrom, the NXT sampler, the N19 sampler, the Redrum was great, the drum machine, and the Thor Polysonic was, good. But and then it's effects. Look at all the effects racks you've got. Basically, it's a studio in a box. It's just everything in one. Utilities. The Combinator was brilliant. There's some great pads and leads and all sorts of stuff in there that are well, curated sort of presets. And then obviously you got your mixer now, because it's now done on a widescreen. It's so much better. Your mixer comes in there, look, on the top right, and it builds across the screen as you lay tracks. Got a compressor built in. You've got all the sends built in. It's just so refreshing to do something different outside of what I've been doing with Ableton for years on end. And then you've got the sequences and all the things like that. So you've got your arrangement window down here, your timeline. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to get it again, and I'm going to, see what I can come up with and just get some fresh ideas, because sometimes when you're using one digital workstation, you tend to stick to the same format and the same formula because you're comfortable. Sometimes it's good to dip out of that and try a different style, a different approach, and come up with fresh ideas. And the beauty of this is you can just sync it to Ableton, and you can sync your plugins to this as well. So look, if you look on the left side here, all my other plugins like Native Instruments, Unnovation and Spitfire and so on, they all sync automatically to Reason. So it's kind of not much different to using Ableton in a sense, with regards to the compatibility of things. So, I'm going to get the Dr. Octo Rex, and in here there's loads and loads of drum sounds. There's loads of all sorts of loops and whatnot. I've not even downloaded them all yet because there's just so many. So just thought I'd get a little dance beat going, and we shall see what we've got. So you're going to just click on one. Get the headphones. Yeah, that's a pretty straightforward house beat. So let's grab that. And then what I want to do is I want to take the loop off on that, and then double click on here, and then double click in there like this. Nice little groove there. So, if you want to come up with some fresh ideas quickly, and, you don't want to faff around too much, just grab this, one of the loopers on here and create a beat, get the drum going, just get it going, and then you can find a bass sound, get yourself some basses. There's a Mutron bass in here. If I remember, there's a Mutron here, which is this. And it's the Bootsy Collins bass. Just brilliant. Badass. Beautiful. So play that. It is velocity sensitive, this is. Softly. Heavily. Brilliant. So that's the Neutron bass, but however, I'm going to create something with the one underneath it, which is the lately bass, which is the classic house bass. Just for the sake of the demo, just to give you an outline of what I'm doing. I'm going to play the track from here. And there we go, a short little bass line, nothing exciting, that needs to be there. And there you go. And as I say, the thing is, if you want to create a quick, easy track, you want to drum up an idea, you can just use this as a quick sketch pad rather than sitting there staring at a blank canvas on your normal DAW, you know, and then you can transfer this over anyway. Another great feature of this is a classic feature is the combinator, and this is just a load of really well done sounds, synthesized sounds. You know, there's leads, there's all sorts of stuff in here that's just really powerful stuff. There's acid, there's tons and tons. Look at them all. There's thousands of the bloody things. So I can't even remember what I used to use back in the day, and without going through all of it individually, which was going to take me a long time. There was one I used to like called Victoria something, if I remember it. It was like a Victoria Falls or something. Is it around here somewhere? V. If I type Vic, it might come up. There it is, As Falls, Victoria. And this is like a really sort of arpeggiated. That one, that's it. It's a great sort of. If you used to play that, obviously, let's get the mixer up and just turn that down on the channel a bit and just have a play the track. So you've got the combinator, which obviously does all that kind of thing, but also in the combinator, if I was to just remove those and have a look at this list again, that lead, where's the leads? If you can see the lead, let's go to synth. I'm sure it used to have some pretty cool, like Moog sort of Moog. I'm from England, so we say Moog. Leads. Moog. I'm pretty sure they did have. Yeah, what's this one? There, monosynth. Moogish. That's the one. Not that one. It's definitely not that one. It's got like more of a bend to it. That's it. So we play that. You've got so many things in here that you could just do. Jump on it. You've got this creative sampler as well. This thing, if I remember this, I was looking at this earlier, this piano impressions. Let me take off my bass a second on here and just play the beat with this and just do some sort of jamming with this. It's a pre-recorded sort of chord samples. You could drop those in over that and then put a new bass on top of it, you know, some sort of double bass. So I could get rid of that bass line there. And I could just press record on this. So press record, enable, press. So I would go back to utilities. I would put in the combinator again down here. And I would create a new combinator and I would put bass, and I think I could get a double bass up in here, like a jazz bass. Uptown bass, upright jazz. Let's go for that. Them sort of patterns. Obviously, there's a lot of tuning and stuff, that sort of thing goes on. But you get the idea. I just knocked up a little track there. And also, another thing before I go is, obviously within Reason now, you've got all these different sound packs. There's hundreds of them, of loops and drum fills and drum beats, etc. that you can take from it, depending on what style of music you produce. If you make ambient, hip hop, soul, it's all in there. So for the first month for £1, I strongly recommend grabbing it and having a play with it and experimenting with it. It arranges itself like any other DAW. It's no big deal. It's better now that it's widescreen, so much better. But yeah, Reason. I think I'm going to be keeping this one this time. And obviously I'm going to rent it, because you can rent it for £20 a month. And then if you don't want it for a while, you can cut it off, or you can just pay for it outright. I think it's only about £200-300, but it is brilliant for what you get. The value for money is immense. So that's it. There's my little rekindling with an old piece of software that I used to absolutely love, and I'm glad that I found it again. Thank you guys for watching. Give me a shout if you need any mentoring or anything at all. Speak to you soon.